Good evening, guys. Welcome to day three in India versus England match. India's in a very strong position, and with the Youngsters stepping up, it's kind of very exciting. We had a fantastic innings by Pant. Before that, very constructive, possibly like very strong innings set up by Rohit. He set the platform for it, and really took the Pant took the fight into the England camp. So now we have Washington Sundar and Axar Patel looking extremely strong. And oh, that's the first boundary for the morning, and that's from Axar Patel. He looking very good. So we got another great all-rounder. So what do you guys think about today? What's your projection? What do you think it's going to like? What do you think India's going to be first inning score like? What are they looking for?
So
Yes,
hey
Bhaskar,
guys,
go ahead.
yeah, I think we had two wonderful days of Test cricket. Today is the third day, and the great thing is that yesterday, we were chatting that on our WhatsApp group that the morning when it started, things didn't look great for India, and we constantly went on saying that there needs to be a one good partnership, and then the heat factor will also come in, and that exactly happened. It happened a bit late, but it happened after giving us a few butterflies in the stomach with Washington Sundar and Rishabh Pant having that great partnership, and that pulled the tide in favor of India.
Yeah, true. Like what happened yesterday, like 80 for 4 and then 125 for 5 and 140 for 6. I was like, India is going down, down and down. But Pant hold that, like not only managed to give us a lead, and he played beautifully. Like I guess it's been his third 100, right? In last 20, he only
Yes.
played 20
Yeah,
test matches and 300s and four
yeah,
scores in the 90s. So you can imagine the capability of
exactly.
a batsman. Like
Yeah,
True.
he proved himself, like he's belongs to this stage, right? Similarly to the Washington Sundar case, like the calm composure he brings to the team, like he's phenomenal, right? Uh, Concerned about the Gill got out in zero. Kohli is not applying himself. Like I'm not sure what happened, what's wrong with him with in this series, but it's been a cause of concern. But they have to apply themselves like Rohit Sharma. Like I would like to say that Rohit played the innings which Mr. Bhaskar would be proud of, right? And similarly, I want to point out that Pant first 50 was of the Bhaskar standard, and the last 50 was Mr. Neil's standard. So I'm in favor of the last 50 though, in the Neil's favor, because the kind of attacking cricket he played,
yeah,
he completely took control of the game in his own hands, like playing Anderson the new ball. Like I just read that he took 900 international wickets, right? So 900 international wickets under his kitty, and smacking him boundaries back to back with a new ball. That was something scintillating for me. Like I couldn't
yeah. We
imagine.
have
Yeah.
actually a lot to discuss and lot to analyze. I mean, lot of things to discuss and analyze. Absolutely, absolutely, sure.
I mean, at one point it was a super scary situation when we were like four down for 80 runs. But the way these guys picked up from there and led us home is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Otherwise, we would
Yeah,
have lost this match.
Yeah,
exactly. At one point of time, the England was in control, like 140 for 6. England could have imagined that 205 is a good score in this surface. But
yeah, yeah,
thanks
yeah.
to Sundar and Pant's partnership.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so I think if we analyze yesterday, I think till T we scored 120 runs, and in last session we scored 140 runs.
Yeah,
So that shows the approach that the Indian team changed once Pant was in, and that's what exactly I was saying. Rohit needed to play his natural game. I think he went more into a shell. Otherwise, it was 100 for him yesterday. And again, I don't know about you guys, but Ashwin's batting gives me more confidence than Pujara or Rahane at the moment. Like I'm
Even
that
that,
serious right now.
Yeah, you
yeah,
don't be so
yeah.
harsh on don't
I
don't be
mean,
so
in the
harsh on
last
Rahane and Pujara.
Yeah.
Don't be so harsh on Rahane and Pujara. They
Uh,
both have been proven match winners. It's just that one of their off days that they didn't connect they didn't get the right ball to play on. But yes, I am like a little surprised how Shubman Gill, he seemed to be very comfortable on a pacey and a bouncy wicket, but when it comes to a spinning track,
hmm.
he seems to be having a challenge out there. Possibly he needs to go rework on his techniques on that.
Yeah,
The question
true.
I started off this afternoon, this evening rather, or morning for India, is guys, what do you think would India be looking at? Uh, are they looking at a target of 150 plus 200? What do you think they are, or they just want to play it out for this, like session by session? What do you think India's strategy is out
Yeah,
here?
I guess the this partnership would be crucial, right? Akshay and Sundar. I guess they want to extend as much lease as possible. Like they want to play the whole day if possible. Like it's not feasible though, but let's see. Let's hope. Let's hope for the best. So I guess I wish Sundar to make 100. I just only wish, fingers crossed though.
Well, couple of things I wanted to say. One is that the way Rishabh Pant attacked the second new ball, and that too from a goat, a great, greatest of all time, Jimmy Anderson. That I don't remember. At least I have seen that sort of a approach on a Test cricket from a, from a, I would say, middle half or lower half batsman attacking a bowler like Jimmy Anderson. You know, and Jimmy Anderson, even with the old ball and new ball, also, he was doing something. So that was, I think, I mean, it took everybody by surprise. So that was amazing. That was one thing. I mean, which was really, really. I mean, I've not seen before.
That's a very interesting point, Bhaskar, you're making. Actually, like when he did this reverse sweep over the second slip, which reached out, the umpire did not know how to react. He was looking at the ball, he was looking at the batsman for a second or two, and then he turned around slowly to say that okay, it's a boundary. He did not know where the ball went or what was Butt doing. He
Yeah,
also looked like a little surprised. That
yeah,
expression is like worth $1 billion. Go
yeah,
ahead, Neil. What's your
yeah.
thoughts?
I think, Bhaskar, we discussed a lot of times that T20 has changed the way Test cricket is being played. I think it's
Absolutely.
time where we have to embrace talent rather than just pushing it for okay, test cricket. I think Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma are the players that will have to accept. Like sometimes there'll be days where they'll go out for zero. We shouldn't be harsh on them. And sometimes they'll win us matches. Like yesterday, we were 140 odd for six. We were in trouble. If we were out on 180, this match was gone.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to give them that space and time and nurture the talent. And because I think Rishabh Pant is an exceptional talent. Like he can easily take Dhoni's shoes for sure.
Yeah,
So like, and I don't credit team management for supporting him, to be honest, because last year he was out. He was not in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
He just came in because we were out at 436. So I think it was his hard work that he went back. I've read his interviews where he's saying, I was struggling, I couldn't sleep. He was in kind of a depression mode. He really worked hard on his fitness and also on his skills. And I think we should give that to Rishabh Pant for sure this time.
That's
In
very
this
true, Neil. That's exactly true. Because I'll get back to you, Deveshish. Actually, we just
no
need to
problem,
kind of
no problem.
acknowledge that Washington Sundar just hit his second six, I guess, and so he is looking extremely strong. He's playing on 66, and that's his four. He's just nice, beautiful cover drive. He gets his four too. So he's scored 10 runs already off this over. He's looking very strong. Let's kind of hope that he gets his 100. Last time he was unlucky. He had Australia, so let's hope in. Coming back to Neil, yeah, you're true that Pant had really worked on his fitness, on his technique. He looks like even behind the wicket, he acknowledges that he's more comfortable now as he's feeling the ball. His catch practices made him comfortable. Like in an extra day, there's a short snippet of him being interviewed by Rohit Sharma along with Washington Sundar,
I
where
watched
he
that.
says that
Yeah.
if you're like it is kind of he acknowledges that that was one of his weakness that he's worked very hard and he has got the coaching staff working extremely hard on him to kind of get up to the mark. And now he feels very comfortable. He knows where to collect the ball right behind the stumps. If you've seen that in a few T20 games, he used to pick the ball before the stumps, and they used to call it a no ball. In the IPL, if people realize, like 2 seasons ago, or at least last season, I don't know if he did that, but it's 2 seasons ago, he was very infamous for collecting the ball before the stem and being called no ball. So he's come a long way from that. He worked hard on his technique, so he's looking very promising. Happy for India that we got some great players to look forward, and our C team or D team, as you call it, have all we got a good enough bench strength. So that's fantastic. Sorry, Devish, you wanted to say something?
Yeah,
Join us.
absolutely. And before I say that, let's acknowledge this comment from our audience, Pulkit. He's saying, "What a brilliant hit right now by Sundar for a six. Praying that he reaches his 100 this time. We all hope for that." And Pulkit, we were expecting you on the panel tonight. What happened, buddy? You still have the link. If you want, you can join us. Anyways, so like we've had this wonderful discussion. Thank you everyone for your comments. We've discussed how Rohit Sharma gave us a good start. We've discussed how Rishabh Pant, sort of uh, got us home with a respectable lead. How Sundar gave him a good company. How Rahane had a bad day. But we've been forgetting one guy, King. What about him? What about King Kohli?
Yeah, I
Uh,
okay.
So
Yeah,
I
go
know,
ahead.
I mean, there are a lot of, Virat Kohli fans across the world. I mean, I think he has become the number one cricketer, or I think number one sportsman, having 100 million followers. So there's no denying Virat Kohli, but nobody is perfect. And Virat Kohli over the years, and this is my personal thing, I mean, like Gavaskar said yesterday, when a batsman is just starting, it might be King Kohli, it might be somebody else, or even if it is just after drinks, tea, even if you're 150, not out day one, you are coming back to bat, you are starting fresh. So that period, every batsman is vulnerable. And correct me if I'm wrong, time and again, we have seen Virat Kohli having that weakness during that particular period, particularly outside the off stump. And my personal opinion, like yesterday it was said that the ball did a tremendous thing, and it was a peach of a delivery. Anybody could have gone out with that. Personally, I do not agree. Yeah, that ball bounced a bit, but it was not a ball which was coming towards Virat. It was a delivery which was going away. Virat kind of chased it a bit, and then obviously and yeah, it did bounce a bit more than he expected, and then he got caught behind. So this weakness outside the off stump, and then the initial shaky period that Virat has, I mean, we have seen that time and again. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to add first to the Neil's comment about the Pant's innings. Like, I just listened to the Michael Vaughan interview with the Harsha, and he was like, "It's the mindset which differentiates Pant from others. Like, this new generation has a mindset. Like, playing a reverse sweep on 89 would not have been thought by any old generation batsman. Like, they would be going for the 100, right? And the kind of mindset these youngsters have, like, so. And I would also like to add to the Bhaskar's like point that Kohli, like, for that, Sunil Gavaskar has said that any batsman who comes to bat, they needs to give 15 or 20 minutes initial to stay on this pitch and cover their off stump and think of leaving balls. They should be knowing where their off stump is. But Kohli has this issue in the initial period that he is like vulnerable outside the off stump and gives edges to, we all know. So this has to be worked on for by the Kohli. So
Just
yeah,
one
go.
quick question. Just one quick question, Prince, for you and for Bhaskar. So we're all acknowledging and appreciating that reverse sweep by Rishabh Pant, which went for a four. But what if he would have thrown away his wicket on that shot? Would we be saying the same thing,
Yeah,
or
I
would we
would
still be
like to
comparing
add
him
to
with
this.
the
Like,
older generation cricketers, or
no,
would we be criticizing him or still appreciating him for
yeah,
that?
I would like to add Rohit Sharma's comment here. He gave the interview last night. So he said Rishabh Pant is like a batsman who likes to attack. Even if his wickets fell, we shouldn't be disappointed, right? This is the way he plays. We should let him play this way. Otherwise, he would be throwing his wicket anyway. So we should give him free hand, right?
Yeah,
Yes, Bhaskar,
exactly.
go ahead.
That's
One thing
what.
I would like
Sorry.
to say is nothing succeeds like success and nothing fails like failure. the same Rishabh Pant, when he was almost, he along with Dhoni was almost taking India home in that World Cup semi-final, and he played his favorite shot and he was set up for it. That, the pull or the flick he does over the mid wicket, and he has hit many sixes, but he also has gone out. He has got out like that. So it happened in World Cup, and everybody was at that time cursing him. So there is I mean, there's this element of risk in his batting. He pulls it off, everything is great. If he cannot pull off, then, and we have seen that with anybody. We have seen that with Vivian Richards. We have seen that with all attacking players. That that is the how they play, and that is how they go out. So
And
as long as he
I,
is able to have more successes than his failures, then everybody will be okay with that. But by the law of averages or any other thing, if it the reverse happens, where there is more
exactly.
failure than successes, then people will start questioning it.
Yeah, I just want to add one. Like, I have, since I have been growing with the cricket, like over the years, I have been listening throughout my like life in the commentary, like fortune favors the brave. So you have to be brave enough to fortune favors you. So
I
Yeah,
think he
exactly.
just kind of like he
It's fair enough.
actually the shots that he played. Okay, to answer your Devesh your specific question about saying that had Bishop Pant got out on that, I think people wouldn't have said anything about it. They would have said, "Oh, he played well." They would kind of, because the shots before that actually gave, he had set up the stage for playing such a shot, because the first he like the first 50 runs that he scored, he was going at a space at which he's later on said that that was based on a decision and a strategy that Rohit had come from, that let's first get the 200 runs on the board to kind of ensure that we are not chasing anything. We are going to be, then once it's done, he became more confident and he became his usual Rishabh Pant style, where he was like hitting everything that came in his zone. So that was like there. That particular shot where he kind of had a reverse sweep on Jimmy Anderson was something very unique. Even Jimmy Anderson could not believe him that he was being, because he just turned around and walked away. He didn't even look at the ball saying where it goes. He couldn't believe that that sort of a shot was played by Rishabh Pant, right?
uh,
Um,
yeah,
so coming back to Kohli, I would like to make a point on King Kohli, that yes, King Kohli, I think my interpretation of what King Kohli is, he looks like he's slightly under pressure, because he missed the last series, like last couple of games in Australia, where Rahane successfully scored 100, took home the game, brought home like India, brought on the cup to India, like sorry, the series to India, and then Rahane again played well in the first game this series. So I think Kohli's little under pressure out there to say, I need to prove myself, I need to come there. He's just kind of fighting his inner battles out there. I think once he cuts past that, there's 100 somewhere. There's 100 waiting there. I think it
Yeah.
could come in the second innings, or it could possibly be in England if we get there. But there's 100 out there to get back his confidence. Even 100 in a T20 or a one day will get back Kohli back. Then you're going to see that his
100 in a
score
T20.
is going to keep going there from there, from inning to it.
That
It's
would be
just
amazing,
waiting to
wouldn't it?
happen.
yeah. I
It's
Yeah.
would
just
like
waiting to
to.
happen.
Yeah,
And the same thing with Shubman Gill also.
yeah, he's
He's
gonna.
gonna have a good score out there. We just need to have some patience with him. He's learning. It's great skill out. He's a great talented player. So we would not want to touch his face and give him the confidence to continue.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say is that the four test matches we saw in Australia, and this is the fourth test match we are playing here in this India versus England series. So, eight test matches in total. How many times we have seen that the top order of Indian batting has failed, and it is the lower half who has rescued the team? I mean, that is something amazing. It is not that just that the India has a huge, very good bench strength, where the C team is winning the series for the team, but also this this depth in batting. I mean, this is something, that is something really amazing, something good.
So that's where I said earlier my comment was I am more confident with batting Ashwin than seeing Pujara and Rane, just because that reason. I have not seen Gill in last 3 4 test matches. Gill, Kohli, Pujara, or Rahane clicking. That's the concern for India right now, and that's the main reason why my thinking is different for the way Rishabh Pant is batting. I would have not gone even one bit upset if he went out yesterday hitting that shot, because that's his mindset. We have to understand that that mindset is needed at the number 6 or 7 batsman, especially with that kind of talent that he has. He got out on 98, and still he has an audacity to hit a six at 94. Virendra
Yeah.
Sehwag, Adam Gilchrist, Dilshan, Rishabh Pant, they are in a different bracket. Like they don't think like a normal cricketer does. So I think we should respect it, and I think India is pretty lucky to have a replacement for Dhoni. It's early days, but I'm pretty sure he can fill up that niche.
Yeah, exactly.
True,
That's why.
very true.
That's why he has four scores in 90s. He got out, right? He
and
didn't
and
care about that.
there will be days where he'll play a rash shot, get out. And he understands that now. He didn't understand that 2 years earlier, but after coming back now, he understands that he should not throw his wicket out, and that's a really good plus. The other thing about Kohli is, जब सब कुछ खराब जाता तो सब कुछ खराब ही जाता, right? So that's kind of phase
Mm.
he's going in right now, because that ball bounced. I agree, as Dave said. Yeah, he's not that good when he's in first 0 to 10 runs, but I think he's king for a reason, and he'll come back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that's a cause of worry. But I would say one thing: I was not happy with the way Pujara went out. He is too much stepping outside and defending. With the new rules changing with stepping out and LBW, I think he should stop that. He should have a better technique like Rahul Dravid, where he would put his bat in front of his pads rather than going out and then playing a defensive shot.
Yeah,
But
that
Pujara,
analysis which was made yesterday, I really liked it. I what was the name of the spinner who is in the commentary panel? I'm just forgetting his name.
Graham Swan,
Graham
No,
Swan.
no, no.
Murli Karthik, Murli Karthik.
Murli Karthik.
Only Karthik. He made a fantastic point and a fantastic analysis. The why Pujara is getting out and why it was so difficult to get Rahul Dravid out, even on a turning track. It is the technique. So what Pujara is doing, he's putting his bat pad forward. He's trying to save his bat so that the nick is not there. But with the DRS and everything coming, and the straighter delivery is getting more wickets, he's getting those LBWs. And what Rahul Dravid used to do is that his bat would be in front of the pad. So, the ball would not hit the pad first, but the bat first. And even if it was turning, he was away, he was in the front. So the ball spinning, either it takes his outer edge or inner edge. Even if the ball turns, does not hit the middle of his bat. He's taking the outer edge or the inner edge. He's playing with soft hands and his way forward. So the snake, it is not going to the slip or to a fielder. It will die down before it. So that was a fantastic analysis, and absolutely, absolutely. So there is a chink in the armor. There is chink in the armor for Virat Kohli, and same with Pujara also. So they need to work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, like Pujara has been kind of stepping out, which was not. That is also another new characteristics in him. I believe he's trying to up his strike rate, as opposed to kind of where he kind of slows down the innings, where he's by playing it down long, not scoring for a couple of balls, and then he kind of starts picking up the pace. So I guess that's basically where he's coming back from. Someone needs to sit down with him, possibly Ravi Shastri and Kohli, saying, you know what, you're the backbone of the batting. You need to stay there and play your long innings. Those 200 double hundreds that came, it did not come by a strike rate being like 80, 90. It possibly comes with like 30 or 40 strike rates, right? So that's basically what it is. So just to coming back to the score, Akshar just scored 2 boundaries in the previous over. One was through the
Yeah.
covers, one was to the cow corner. He's looking strong too. The England shoulders definitely seem to be dropping at this stage. So let's cheer them up also and enjoy the game. And what do you
Yeah.
think about this third day wicket? What do you guys see any difference between the third day wicket compared to what it reacted in how the ball was in the second day wicket?
No.
I
That's good.
see no difference. It's as good as to bat in the
Yeah.
first day and the third
Exactly.
day.
It's getting
I
better
don't
instead
see,
of getting
and
worse.
I think thankfully English players are not complaining about the pitch, because even Michael Vaughan is saying England played
Yeah.
bad, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
think there was a
Michael.
tweet yesterday from Kevin Peterson as well, or was it from someone else? Like, stop complaining about the pitch. See, because Pant has shown the way it can be done. So
Gabe,
just do it.
The funny thing is, if England bats badly, it says, oh, pitch is bad. If India play well, oh, it's a good pitch. We should make more runs. So
Yeah.
that's the thing I don't understand. But yeah, it's fine.
Well,
Yeah, I liked what Virat Kohli said is that in the previous test, that is the third test, both the teams batted poorly, and we had discussed that already, that if this match could have gone into third or possibly fourth day. in this match, what is happening? And in between, it was said between the third match and the third test and the fourth test, Gavaskar, others also mentioned that the technique, the application, those things are lacking. We saw that again in the first innings, English first innings, and obviously the pitch. It's not a it's not a road, it is not a dead pitch, but at the same time it is not a very difficult, I mean, it's a challenging pitch which you would expect in England. You would expect a seaming pitch. Here you are getting a spinning pitch, and there should not be any complaint this time, because India has proven with their batting that, of course, India has better spinners. Indian batsmen play spinners better, and we have discussed, like, the England have a reasonably strong bowling side, but the batting is weak. And and time and again, that is once they're under pressure, that comes out in the open.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point I want to make. Like, England's top order is of no use, right? Top three, they go like pack of cards. Like, that's what Vaughan was saying, that top three batsmen in a test match makes the foundation for your innings. So when your top three batsmen goes out, your middle order is in shock. They think that what demons are in there in the pitch. So they also fell. So they don't have like proper, I would say, the opening batsmen. The Jack Crawley coming forward to play a lofted shot, right, got cut, and Dom Sibley also got out like that way. So I guess they have a weak top order that has to be fixed, and also the team selection is in the dilemma for England. Like, in the third test, they had three seamers on a turning track, and the track on which they need to play seamers, they played only one seamer, and the Ben Stoke was like, I heard that he was having drinks after every over to survive, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but I would say the way Ben Stokes bowled yesterday was phenomenal. Like, he bowled 12 overs in first innings, first session. And yeah, as you said,
Yeah, true.
horrible selection. They have
Yeah.
gone with three specialist bowlers, and that's more critical now, because as much as we go on playing, they will get tired. So
Yeah.
it's not like they play, make 30 more runs, 40 more runs, make them tired as much as possible right now.
Well, you know what? I feel
Yeah.
England will have a lot of time to ponder on their strengths and weaknesses now that most likely they're not going to be playing the World Test Championship. So they'll have plenty of time to ponder on this.
Well, it's a given deal that they can't play the World Test Championship, but all they can do is they can spoil India's chances on it. Right? So that's the only thing that needs to be seen that they need to see over the next 2.5 days, right?
Let's
Yes.
welcome Pulkit on board, guys. Let's welcome Pulkit on board.
Hi guys.
Hey, Pulkit.
Hey, Pulkit. Pulkit, I heard that you're in a quarantine now, so this is kind of like you were kind of really desperate to get the link. Hopefully,
We know each other's situation so well.
Yeah, I mean that's all I do the entire day. I have nothing to do, so just replying to Facebook comments and posting long posts. That's all I do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, couple of things I wanted to say. One is to our viewers. We are here for you. So please, your comments, your questions, if you have any, more than welcome. Basically, we are here for you. So any comments, any questions you have, please feel free, type them down, and we would be happy to answer. We can take up that in the discussion. The other thing, and that is a question to the panel, basically, Bess, the English spinner, he's a young spinner, but he's in the test level. I don't recall I have seen a test level bowler who bowls well, and then in between he just, I mean, no control, just full tosses. I mean, like, I have not seen a counter attack to a second new ball the way Rishabh Pant did. I have not seen a bowler like Bess who bowls 4 good deliveries and then in the same over 2 full tosses. I mean, and this is not once or twice, time and again. I have not seen anything like
Yeah,
that.
I would like to add to it. Like, Tom Bess has been pretty good in Sri Lanka, though. He took 17 odd wickets over there. Like, over here, it was like selection in a team. For the first test, he was picked. For the second test, he was dropped for Moeen Ali. And Moeen Ali was made to stay longer. So Michael once said that it's like to his mind, it was like he's not needed in the team. Like, it's the confidence to a player, like, which affected his bowling, right? So the major concern with his full tosses and all, he's not. If you see him on the pitch, like on this like ground, he's not there completely, right? So I believe he's down in morale or confidence, which matters the most in the cricket.
Pulkit, what
Yeah,
do you think about this whole thing? Like, the last three
Uh,
days.
I think, especially if you talk about best, like so in Sri Lanka, I think the entire England team played well. It could also be because of the quality of players that you're playing against. Like, no disrespect to the Sri Lankan cricket team, but Indian cricket team right now is like it's the world's best.
It's
Like
at the peak.
you can't
Yeah,
yeah.
at its pinnacle.
So and I think the entire England team did well in the Sri Lankan too. Like Joe Root scored consecutive hundreds in the entire series, and apart from the first match here in Chennai, like after that, the England team we've seen the performances they've only gone down. So I think they need a lot of improvement. Bess in particular, yeah, I mean he's giving at least one delivery ball every over in a test match, and that's too much. Like that's so whatever pressure Anderson and Stokes created on the other end, I think Bess gave it away in. He used to like one or two full tosses every over, and especially to players like Rohit Pant, they will like smash you hard. So definitely, they need. Leach has been good, but again, I think it's been because mostly because of the pitches, kind of pitches that they've got. I still don't think like he's a good spinner, but I still think that England need to find like Moeen Ali would have been a good option. I think I really rate him high as a spinner and as a player. He provides you a lot in the team than probably what Best would have offered. So this rotation policy that England does, it's strange, but that's what it is. So
another bowler that I think they could have brought in is Adil Rashid. He was a leg spinner. And with India playing with so many left-handers on their team, where I think three left-handers, a leg spinner on this kind of a pitch would have made a big difference. So that's one possibly England should have kind of considered bringing when Moeen Ali kind of chose to go back to England. So Adil
yeah.
Rashid would have been an ideal replacement for them.
Plus, he's more of a wrist spinner, not a finger spinner. So he
Right,
could have extracted more out of the pitch than anyone else.
that's correct. That
I
is right. What
I think he's not in the team since last 2 years. I think he's out of
Yeah.
even their test cricket. That's what I'm hearing. He has not played a test match since last 2 years.
he's been more of a Monte Panesar was the same thing. He didn't play for England for a long time, and he was on the tour to India, and he became the man of the series. So, and then he went back and he didn't get to play. So that's exactly how the players are. They come to
E-
India, perform, and then they kind of disappear from action.
exactly. I have seen many times that whoever is not in the form and they come to India, they come get in the form, right?
Get in the form, yeah. And there used to be a time when all the cricketing teams would set up their records against, world records against Indian team, So if, you were lacking somewhere, either in batting or in bowling, visit India, set up your, record and go back and then, cherish that record for next few years. But now we have a different kind of Indian side altogether. I think, this is, they're a force to reckon with. And, like,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and this and very true, Devesh, and that's what we saw this time. It is the reverse. Like English team came with a huge reputation. We are seeing where they are. Joe Root
True.
came with a huge reputation, and so good thing for Indian cricket and not so good for visitors. India is no longer the safe ground where you can come and regain your form. You have to be in your peak of your playing ability to come and do something.
True.
That is
Absolutely. You've
fantastic.
nailed it. Absolutely.
I'm not going to rate England team as a really good team this time around because I'm in batting. I don't see anyone other than Root and Stokes. So it's like 50% of a team. Even in bowling, yeah, Leach is bowling well, but like I would have bowled Jofra Archer on this wicket.
I think there's like, if you see the teams like over like throughout the world, like every team has a phase. Like Sri Lankan team is regrouping again. They are not the same as we used to see Jayawardene, Jasuria and all. And Australian team while back was weak, but now they have grown a couple of good guys, right? They are now good. India is also like, for the bench strength they have, the IPL and the youngsters they have a better future, right? And also many more teams. Like I was watching the West Indies T20. Like look at the lineup they have. All the T20 giants. So
The mention of IPL reminds me of Dale Steen's tweet. What do you guys think of that?
exactly, he has no future here. That's why he tweeted. He
Yeah.
wants to
Well
get
said,
the
Prince. You
get the
couldn't have
bargain
put better.
from the other
Yeah,
T20s.
other side of
Well
the
said.
border. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
that was
I put a comment in Facebook that basically it is like, it is like actors, once you stop getting roles in A grade movies, you have to move to the B grade and C grade movies because, you need to keep the food on the plate. So that's what has happened with Delsten and everybody. So, I mean, if you don't
and
get picked for IPL, then you will get picked for, I
Other
mean,
leagues.
that's my personal opinion, but that's how I think, it is. One thing I wanted to mention that yeah, I mean we have said time and again that the English batting right from first Test match we have been saying that the English Test match has English batting is not that great, bowling is kind of good, but with the rotating policies and everything else they are doing, people going back to their home country and all that, it is just that the punch is missing. But yesterday morning the first 2 hours, India, I mean I saw I mean their bowling was good. They were bowling. I mean, the pitch was giving some assistance. Both the seamers and spinners actually bowled well, and they got the results. They were able to push back India, and then uh, they could not sustain it. India, obviously, with his bench strength and even with the lower half coming good with their batting, they were able to push back. And once they crossed, and I mean, cricket is also a lot in the mind. And once England realized that they are not going to have the lead. India is going to take the lead. Once they cross 200, I think back in the mind somewhere they said, "Oh, okay." I mean, no hope basically. But the first 2 hours yesterday, I was pretty impressed with the English bowling and how they went about things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they beautifully bowl initially, but I think they are a bowler shot. Like a genuine bowler, they are shot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like bowling Ben
Oh, that's a
Stokes,
six again, guys.
yeah,
Yeah,
Akshay,
Akshar Patel has just kind of
Akshay is,
started
yeah,
launching himself.
He
he
He has
just
wanted to
launched
make
again.
completed his
good on
fourth.
his home ground, right?
he's number 4 batsman in the Gujarat team,
Saurashtra team.
so he
He's in
shouldn't be
South.
batting at 9. He is way
Yeah.
way better batsman than becoming at 9.
Similarly to
Mr.
the
Similar
Sundar,
Sundar.
Similarly,
Sundar is the
Sundar,
opening
yeah,
batsman.
he's
Sundar
the
was the
opening
opening
true.
batsman for Tamil
And
Nadu.
I just read that he last played a class match in 2017. After that, he just got an opportunity in Australia, and since that, he
Wow,
never
nice.
looked back. And look
True.
at the partnerships he makes. Like whenever
yeah.
he makes a partnership with the batsman, it's huge. Like with every, even the Brisbane Test, and now with the first with the Pant, now with the Akshar. Yeah, if
Yeah.
he's a good prospect, he would be asking Ashwin if he can come down and he can go up the order.
No, I would keep Ashwin at 7.
Okay, let's go
He
for
is
a vote
good as
today.
century.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ashwin would be saying that I have too many centuries than you.
Like I just read it today. He's the number 3 bowler and he's the number 5th all rounder. So that says a lot with
Yeah.
3 and 5
Just
ratings. So
imagine how
Yeah.
many bowling all rounders, spinning bowling all rounders we have.
yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Yeah, exactly,
So
guys. And talking about all rounders, so that is one thing about Indian team now. Like it was there in the interview which Rohit Sharma was taking of Rishabh Pant and Washington Sundar. Rishabh Pant is a genuine all rounder with his wicket keeping and his batting. Washington Sundar, when a batsman performs time and again, it's not a fluke, and he has his domestic record to prove it. So he is a genuine all rounder, I would say. And same now, Akshar Patel, he's turning out to be another genuine all rounder. So that gives the depth to the Indian batting and the overall strength, and that plays in the minds of the opposition bowlers also. Like even if they take initially 4 or 5 wickets, it is still in the back of their mind that whoever is coming at number 6, 7, 8, they are not flukes. They won't just come in and come and go out. There are some
correct.
genuine batting talent there. So
Yeah.
True,
And
there
we
Yeah.
has
still
been
and we
But
still
it's
have
again that's
Hardik Pandya waiting at the sidelines.
exactly,
So
and this
uh,
also has created as like the what you can call a belief in the tail-enders, like
yeah,
reliability on the tail-enders that they can bat. We if we are down 3-4, then we shouldn't be lose hope. We can
yeah.
still
yeah,
get good
We have
score.
seen even Siraj is able to smash some balls.
yeah,
He hits like he
Okay.
has taken up on Pat. He has taken on Pat Cummins and
yeah. So
Josh
yeah,
Hazelwood in Australia. He has done that in the first test, like in second test match. So he's a handy batsman at the end to have.
Yeah.
So Indian batting, especially the tailenders are not tailenders. The depth is right up to eighth or ninth batsman. So we
Yeah.
have a very strong depth in our batting,
As opposed
which
to
is
Even
good.
Jadeja, even Jadeja, I feel has improved his batting a lot. Like the way he played in Australia till he got injured, it
Yeah.
was really good. So
I
One
mean,
more thing
talking
of
of
great
tailenders,
observation is all of these bowler batsman combination that we're getting, the batsman all rounders that we're getting, they're all left-handed.
yeah,
I can't remember the last time when India had
Yeah.
three left-handed batsmen in their squad, and all the three left-handeds are actually played. I can't remember that. I went back and started trying to do a quick search and saying who are the left-handed batsmen in, like, who are the team at that. I can't find a team in which there were three left-handed batsmen all-rounders.
Yeah.
Okay, like a Pant could be a wicketkeeper all-rounder. That's one kind of stuff. But like having Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar, Jadeja, like India's like they kind of like build up their the
a
bench
club.
strength, the teams, they come up a long way. So now if like every player, they're gonna be like, if you don't perform, you know what, there's someone else who's ready to replace you. So they kind of always have this on their rearview mirror kind of thing.
Okay,
Exactly.
I've been
On
itching to ask this question, guys, before anyone jumps in again. Will Sundar score a century today? How many
I
of you think
wish
he will?
I
we hope
wish
so.
he
Yeah,
should. Yeah.
he
I
Let's
should.
go
mean,
Yeah,
in
he
for a
does.
vote.
if if
How many of us feel he'll score a century today?
yeah, he will.
Everyone.
He
Raise
will.
your
He will.
hands
Yeah.
for a vote.
We
Yes,
really want to,
yes,
yeah.
Bhaskar
Yeah.
says yes.
Uh,
All of us, 100%.
Hopefully, we don't jinx it.
Yeah,
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 hopefully.
exactly. If you see Sundar, he's technically the best batsman. Like from even he can bat in the top 4 5. If you can say that
Yeah.
he's technically sound. He's
Yeah.
not that
He's
playing
played as
that
an
rash.
opener, that's why. So his technique has to be like,
Yeah.
A quick question to the panel here. Do you think the form of number 3, 4, 5 would be in Virat Kohli's mind for Washington Sundar's inclusion, or they might have gone with Kuldeep Yadav if he had more confidence in the way number 3, 4, 5 are going?
true. I think he would have played Kuldeep Yadav if 3-4-5 would have contributed more than what they are doing right now. Plus, the headache is if they would have Jadeja in the team, then again scenarios change. Jadeja is injured, Hardik Pandya is injured. So it's a different dimension that they're looking at right now. Uh, when they're fit and back, I don't see Sundar getting a game ahead of Jadeja. I don't think so. They'll play Jadeja
Even
instead of
the
Sundar.
Akshar.
Yeah, I mean they'll play Akshar and Jadeja both because they both give you better bowling options and a batsman in terms of that.
The reason I'm asking this question is because I heard Virat Kohli saying Kuldeep Yadav is bowling the best that he has ever seen. So I think he doesn't have the confidence in 3, 4, 5, and that's why we are seeing one more all rounder into the team.
True,
But
especially
I'm
Washington
thinking,
Sundar continues the way he's continuing with his bat and ball and everything. I mean, it will be difficult to drop him. I mean, yeah, I understand that that Jaddu needs to come back and he has the merit to come back. But who are you going to drop? How can you drop a guy who is playing well in every match? And he has proven himself in Australia. He has proven himself in India. How can you suddenly drop him? So I mean,
that's
it
that's
won't be.
true. But I think if England would have played well in the second match, they would have looked at a like if they would have played well than what they're doing, they would have looked at a better bowling option than Sundar. The entire reason why I feel they've persisted with Sundar is because England have not batted well. Sundar has bowled maybe like 5-10 overs in a match, 10-15 overs maybe at max. So they are not looking at Sundar as a bowling option. So if they have Jadeja back in the squad, he's a pure bowling
Right.
option. So if England would have played better than what they're doing right now, I think Jadeja would have been given a start ahead of Sundar purely because they would have then looked at a bowling all rounder more than a batting all rounder.
Yeah.
But one
yeah.
reason Washington Sundar is not bowling more is because he's not getting the chance because England is getting out too quickly.
No,
Exactly,
the other thing
exactly the
which
point.
was
So I mean,
that's
the opposition needs to bat like it has only happened in the first Test match, first couple of days where they won the toss. And believe me, that was just because England won the toss. If India would have won the toss, it would have been the other way. Absolutely. So
right.
apart from the first 2 days of the first Test match, I mean, I have not seen England batting where you can test all the Indian bowlers, give them enough options because the Indian bowlers, whoever is getting a chance, is basically running, through the English batting side. So I mean, what can Washington Sundar do, and what can even the captain Virat Kohli do? I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
other
agree.
thing about like I believe what works with for Washington Sundar and Akshar Patel over Kuldeep Yadav is the length at which they're bowling. Like if you look at Kuldeep Yadav, he tends to play ball like somewhere between the good length and back of the like middle and like somewhere on the good length ball, whereas Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar can go further up, and they're kind of like going back of the good length or almost like at the range where they kind of like see that's why Akshar Patel was successful. His ball are all at the back of the good length, straightening up, and that's why the batsman kind of like they didn't get time enough to read his length, and they kind of like they get out as LBW or possibly Nick and all that. So that's what is working. So I think Kuldeep Patel has a little bit of technique trouble out there, which I'm sure he's going to get. And he would once it corrects it, he's going to be back in the team, challenging them about it.
One
Yeah.
thing I would like to say is that I like Kuldeep Yadav. It's not that I'm against any player, but Kuldeep Yadav did not get a chance even when Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar were not there in the fray. And now with these people coming, I mean, to be very honest, with so much skill and whoever have got the chance is
And support.
performing. I find, yeah, and performing well. I don't see Kuldeep Yadav coming back in near future. I mean, unless something changes. I mean, there's just too much talent, too much competition at
The,
this point of time.
again, the
Yeah.
point is if 3, 4, 5 perform, that's the biggest concern. If the middle order starts performing, they can afford. So India have always played like 5 bowlers previously because they felt that the first like the top order top six would perform with bat. But it's only been recently and especially overseas tours where you need that extra protection down at the bottom with a tailender who can bat. So unless the 3, 4, 5 like Kohli, Pujara, and Rahane start performing, I don't. Yeah, even I don't see Kuldeep getting a chance.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest concern for India right now, 3, 4, 5. Because if they are not in form in India, they just gonna get one match in Lord. I really want them to perform well because
Yeah,
Lord's conditions will be tough. Like
yeah.
that's a big concern right now. That's the only
Yeah,
concern I think.
yeah, playing on seaming conditions in lots is going to be the biggest challenge for the top five batsmen out here.
And
Because
honestly, I think none of us can forget
coming back to
what
the match,
happened
we
in the
just
World
saw
Cup
that.
semi-final and 36 for 9 very easily. I mean, with just 1 hour of bad batting, 45 minutes of bad batting, and that's what we discussed the last time also. With the bowler, you get hit for 3 consecutive sixes, you can redeem yourself. With batting, I mean, and suddenly with all the pressure and something, and you see even the top order is failing, and batting failures can happen very quickly, and we have seen it in recent past. So that is definitely a concern.
Absolutely. So, guys, let's take a short break here and look at the scores. So, Sundar is on 80 now.
Yeah.
So, the odds of him hitting a century are quite high now. And Aksar is on 33. Sundar's strike rate is not bad either. It's almost 50%.
It's more than 50%. Actually, it's just coming back to the game. Akshar Patel in the previous over was lucky of not being given out. It was off his bats and pads and went out. The keeper kind of appealed, but I believe the bowler wasn't convinced, and so the umpire wasn't convinced either. Had they gone for a DRS review, he would have been a little sort of a trouble. But
Did it get the
lucky for
edge? I
India,
thought it was not an edge. It was just his eye.
It could
it
have been
came
a
off.
thigh guard, yeah.
It was like it actually they showed us Nico Peters to say that it was off. There was a hedge out there, so he was
Okay.
lucky in that sense. So good for India that they kind of we still have Akshar Patel there and coming back into the game. So they come up very strong and positive now. They're just going for their strokes, playing their natural game. And yes, coming back to Kuldeep, he has to he has got not only to improve, work on his bowling, he has to work on his batting if he has to challenge both Sundar, Ashwin, uh, Aksar, or even Jadeja to get that spot.
No, I guess he is a pure baller. Like he needs confidence, he needs backing, he needs to be given chances. If you won't give him chances, he won't able to perform, right? Even the KKR made him sit the whole season. I'm afraid what they are doing because they found Varun Chakravarti instead of Kuldeep Yadav, who can like even he can't bat, but he's a better option than Kuldeep. I'm not sure why. For in the test match, this one, I guess Sundar is taken his place only because he can bat and give the cushion at the bottom so that India like now they are extending the lead. So that's the
But
reason why
his
they didn't
bowling
go
is
for.
pretty. I mean, sorry, but his bowling is pretty good though. It's not that. I mean, whatever limited chance he got, his
Yeah,
bowling
true.
is not that bad. I mean, I would, if you, I mean, I would take him any day compared to a best, basically. So,
Yes, in comparison to the best, but in the Indian team, he didn't get chance like because of the other competitive bowlers he's
yeah.
having.
I would like to ask a question. With Ravi Ashwin bowling this good, do you guys think he should get a chance in one days?
I
Hmm.
guess yes, because why? In in the last few years, I was going to imagine that he's not getting to play any more cricket because he's been fading off. But with the precision, he has come back and performed so well now in the recent past. I guess he should be given one chance, like with the World Cup in
Yeah.
mind.
So, like, I don't remember him because I know him and Jadeja were our two spinners in one day international at one point. I don't know what happened in team management, think tank, what happened. Suddenly they were taken out. Then Kulcha came in, and they continued with that. So it was not like they bowled badly, but I think it was just the mindset saying, okay, we want to move forward. And then they brought Kulcha, and then even Kulcha was not there now. It's just Chahar bowling. So I think they didn't do that bad to be just
Oh,
taken out from one day international.
I
oh,
I
that's
think
very true.
I think I think what India would be looking at that point of time is saying that if they have an option between having a genuine all-rounder batsman, a bowling all-rounder batsman, and simply a pure bowler option in Ashwin, they would have to choose between Jadeja and Ashwin. They will have to choose between Ashwin and Sundar, Ashwin and even Aksar if he kind of makes it to the ODI team, right? Because Ashwin is he has the ability has shown that he has the ability to build on a long innings, play long, stay there in the innings. Whereas in a shorter form of the game, they need those quick runs. Get unless you kind of come into the position where the top 3 or 4 has failed and you have like 40 odd overs to play with, and then you need to play that innings, keep one side locked so that the other batsman can go take a go if that's kind of stuff. Ashwin, we haven't seen him being the if he can show the ability to accelerate, then I think he can definitely be considered for the shorter form of the game, but not for the T20. I would definitely not consider him for T20. I would ODIs are definitely, yeah, we could give him a look,
Give him
but
a
for
chance.
T20s, I would think like the 4 hours are too short for anyone to for him to be looked at. So that's
One
my thought
thing,
on it. But
one thing I would like to say is that for Test cricket and ODI, in near past we have seen the Indian batting at least twice totally collapse. Totally collapse. Second thing is that in as we have discussed in out of the last 8 test matches, at least most of them we have seen that the second half of the Indian batting had to come and support the team basically. Otherwise, we would have seen another, India would have lost, it would have been a low score. So these things will play in the mind of the Indian selectors for a long time. So I see advantage all rounders. All rounders always have an advantage, and but now, as far as the Indian team is concerned, for ODI and Test match, I see in advantage all rounders for a pretty long period.
I am asking this because if you guys have seen recently, we don't have batting after 7 in one day internationals. I'm talking about one days. We have Hardik at 6, Jadeja at 7, then 8 we have a fast bowler if it's Bhuvi or someone else. So if we have Ashwin, we would have a batting rather than getting Chahal or someone else. And Chahal, I think lately people are seeing how he bowls, like his variations, everything are being seen. And I think Ashwin with this new energy and whatever he's showing in Test match, I think he should get a chance in one days.
I think I'll wait till IPL to see what he does and then decide on how he's going to perform. So, I mean, though T20 and one day is a different game again, but I would still want to wait till, like, no disrespect to Ashwin, I think he deserves a chance, but it's just the pace at which the one days go right now. Uh, it's difficult for him. I see it's difficult for him to get a chance right now, especially given again Virat Kohli prefers Yuzvendra Chahal. So I don't know if maybe someone else was a captain, maybe Ashwin would have gotten a chance, but I think Kohli prefers Chahal more because they played together in Bangalore as well. So that could be a factor.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Ashwin has bowled brilliantly in last two IPL. So
True.
if IPL is a benchmark, then I don't see him not getting a chance in one day.
But he's just bowled well. Again, that's the question. So his bat. So then they're comparing it with Chahal, like how he's performed. So he's obviously done well as well in if you look at T20s and one days. So
But then
that's where
Ashwin gives us a batting option. Chahal doesn't.
true, that's true. So again, those are the things in one day that he deserves a chance, no doubt he deserves a chance, but will he get one again? He deserves a chance. I think everyone here believes that he deserves a chance, but
Yeah.
I think whatever limited opportunity Akshar Patel and Washi has got, they have proven themselves, and they are genuine all rounders basically. So I see them playing more for India, more and more for India in Test matches and ODIs in near future. And both of them are young. Unless there is sudden loss of form or something, I think they have long years of cricket ahead of them.
What because that's right, because there is a few other players in the fringes like Rahul Chahar, and then there's this guy who played for Rajasthan Royals. I can't seem to recollect his name, but he played like a pretty good knock and one of the games at IPL
Are
that
you
he is
talking
also
about Tewatia?
Tewatia, Rahul Tewatia, right?
he's in the
He would
So
have
T20
to
team.
pass his
he's in the
fitness test first because he failed it yesterday.
right. So I think
Even Varun
fitness is
Chakravarti failed the fitness test
Yeah,
as well.
Varun
fitness,
also
right? So
failed.
they kind of like those are the things which kind of keeping them still waiting on the kind of fringe, waiting for getting a chance to play, kind of be in Indian team, right? And so there is a lot of batting and bowling options for us that goes. Coming back to Rahul, KL Rahul, what do you guys think? What keeps him out of the match? He has been a passenger since the Australian trip, uh, and he got one or two games at New Zealand. He played well, and then he kind of went to Australia. uh, no chances, like he didn't get to play any of the games. He played those two exhibition games. He scored some 30 odd or 40 odd in that games. I can't remember the exact score. Then again, 4 test matches here. He has been like as passenger all along. When do you think? Would you think he's
If
going to get?
if
He Would he be on the
India
flight to
Pujara,
London?
if Pujara continues his bad form, I think one person whom Indian management can think in place of Pujara is KL Rahul. I mean, he is talented, but again, I mean, the competition is so much that once you get an opportunity, if you don't grab it with both hands, it becomes difficult. That's the
I
thing.
get. I guess last time Neil answered this question. We don't have that he doesn't have any option in the middle order to come. He won't be able to open a test match, but he can't be fit in a middle order right now because Pujara, Ajinkye, and Kohli over there. You can't think of replacing any of them, right?
Yeah, but
And
but then
then comes
Ajinkye and
the
Pujara, they are not. I mean,
Yeah.
they are
uh,
not not doing great, right?
true.
Once in a while is fine, but the consistency
But
is missing.
Yeah,
So
but Bhaskar,
I
do you think India will drop Pujara or Rahane? Do you
never,
think?
never, never. Once their time is
I
over,
don't think
only
so.
then they will be.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think.
Pujara is the thumb, right? Like the milestone for
Especially
India.
in Indian pitches, I can think of them dropping these guys. But if we are overseas, there is no chance. I think they'll stick with Pujara because
Not England. In England, at least Pujara is not going to
yeah,
be dropped. He would be there even he scores his 30s and 40s. Pujara will play all the games out there. Rahane may possibly
I'm
find
big
himself
fan
to.
of I'm a big fan of KL Rahul, big fan of Punjab Kings, but I don't see his place at the moment in the team just because it's so much of competition. Like if
Test
he's
team.
playing,
He's
he'll
he's
play at three, four, or
he's
five.
playing T20 and one days, but yeah, Test team. I
Yeah,
think it's difficult to
yeah. One days and
break
T20s
through
are
it.
fine, but for the Test cricket, I doubt to give him a chance. Like
Yeah, not at the
throw
moment.
his a wicket away.
I think even in one days and T20, he's going to be having a challenge because we already have Rishabh Pant as a keeper, so he's not going to be playing as a keeper. Opener we have Rohit Sharma. And if Shikhar Dhawan is back, then
No,
Kohli's preference would be Shikhar Dhawan. You wouldn't want
No,
him.
so that's the thing. Shikhar Dhawan has been fading away, so
yeah,
I think they'll start giving KL Rahul more chances in
Rohit
top.
and KL will open. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shikhar is like long time no see.
yeah. I think he
No,
got
no.
injured.
He scored
Yeah.
150 in the recent domestic match. Like he made 350. Delhi made 350 and 150. He chased down the target actually.
but
No,
150 was
like
made
I
by
think
him.
the way the players are set up, it's really hard for someone to score. Like he has to score consistently to get in the side now. I think it's not like okay, one century you go back to the team. It's like really tough job to get into the team right now.
So, like we discussed earlier, particularly with batting, batting in test matches and batting in white cricket ball is entirely different. Every team is doing that now, and India is also doing. You have a team for test match, you have a team for T20, and you have a team for one day. Now, there will be some common players, some genius players like Virat Kohli, like a couple of other players who will play across all the three formats. But apart from that, there will be like a set of players for test, set of players for one day, and a set of players for T20. And depending upon performance and other things, I won't rule out politics altogether because it is India. But depending upon many factors, the teams will be. But good thing is that India has the bench strength. India has that
Ex-
options, which is always, this is a good problem to have, where you have more players. Whom do I choose? It's a good problem to have, rather than the
exactly.
other way around where you don't have players. So
I
so
guess we have
I think
forgot
that's something going to come.
Hanuma Vihari. Like, if he
Yeah,
comes back after injury, what place he will be at playing,
yeah,
right? So, yeah, India has a big pool to choose from. So that's the big issue for Chetan Sharma, right?
And
I think
some,
I
so the
think
thing is,
Vihari will go back to.
some players are picked up according to the country they play in. So now Anuman Vihari, Ishan Sharma, some of these players, if you're going to Australia, New Zealand, those kind of wickets, you're going to see that these players are in the team. They are going to be on the passenger. They wouldn't have played any matches before going into the series, but they would be definitely included. Now coming back to London, England, or where you're going to find a player like Pujara is definitely on the on the list because he has proven himself in the past. He's going to be there. Possibly Rohit is not making the cut to make it to the team. You never know that because in England, Rohit's kind of has his challenges in English pitches.
yeah,
So I like in South Africa again. Rohit has struggled on the South African pitches too. So those kind of places where you're going to find that conditions are different, you could possibly have a different player who would like instead of Rohit, someone else kind of steps into the team, kind of stuff, right? So that's this one challenge about it. So going now, Washington Sundar is back on 87, and so he's looking good.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna drop Rohit. I don't believe so. Like, he's here for another 5 6 years. He won't be
And
dropped,
I
to be
think
honest.
he did pretty well in Australia. Like he managed the seam bowling pretty well. Though conditions in Australia, England are different, but I think he'll manage. He's worked on his technique as to what we've seen so far. So I also don't see Rohit Sharma getting dropped as of now, unless he has a bad series like 2 3 series back to back. I don't see him getting dropped as well.
Do you guys know when's the World Cup World Test Champion final gonna play? Is it in June or what?
Yeah, it is June. I'm
I
forgetting
think
the date. I'm sure it is in June.
So
One
how
test match.
the dates
And,
work with Asia Cup and
Asia
everything?
Cup. It's clashing with the Asia Cup.
oh, okay.
So either we can have a team go to Asia Cup or we can have it play the World Test Championship. Both are not
I,
happening at all.
I think they said that the Asia Cup may be postponed if India kind of makes it to the Test Championship.
Well, I
There
think
was a
It's
statement
June.
like
June.
It's
Yeah, it's June.
it's June 22nd.
I think that was more of a speculation, but Sri Lanka hasn't agreed to that yet.
They can't have Asia Cup without India, so the Asia
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, if India has gone, and from the way things look, okay, cricket is a great game of huge uncertainties. Nothing is over till the last ball is over. But from here, I'm pretty sure India is going into playing the World Test final with
Absolutely,
New Zealand.
absolutely.
If that
No doubt
happens and
about it.
there's a clash of date, uh, what will happen is what India wants. As simple as that. There is no doubt about it, and
So
the
what do you
viewership
think India
I mean,
will
wants?
come.
What
even
do you
if
think
India
India
misses,
wants?
the Asia Cup, it's not a big deal. Like I wouldn't really mind them missing an
Yeah,
Asia Cup.
exactly.
So, like,
Well, we have two teams, right? One A
it's
team and the B team. The B team can be sent for Asia Cup, and the A team can absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah, I
true.
mean,
have the
true.
well, they did that, right? They did that in the last Asia Cup where Rohit Sharma led the team. Virat Kohli did not
yeah.
play,
Virat
and
was
we
less
won the game
for that
and came back,
tournament.
right?
Yeah,
We beat we
absolutely.
beat Bangladesh in the finals,
Did you guys
and
watch India Legends match yesterday by any
Not
chance?
Oh,
didn't watch, but
No,
saw
it's
the
certain
scorecard.
numbers. Yeah.
Oh, I watched the highlights on Sehwag's page.
Sehwag
Vintage
was
Sehwag
yeah,
and
yeah,
Sachin.
yeah.
Awesome to watch.
And also, given the circumstances, I think it would be a bit borderline derogatory to call India's biggest A team as B team because they're just like, parallel A team, I
Yeah,
would say.
India's second team, we would say.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah,
you guys
India's
can just
second team
watch
is
that
better
highlight.
than the first team of most countries, basically, almost of all countries.
I think India can pretty much afford to have a second team playing around the globe, right? They can go parallel to play it. Even like a series between India A and India B would have a good viewership because you're looking at two strong teams basically.
Yeah.
True.
And
And that is what India is going to do in England. There is a practice match where the Indian A team is going to play the Indian B team in England, basically.
correct. They said
Yeah,
they're going to take the B team with them. So all these players are going to be on the flight to going to England and trying to get them best match practice.
yeah.
Yeah, the final match is on 18th till 22nd June.
So it's a
And
single game, is it?
this weather is so unpredictable. Apart from the weather factor, we are going to witness a fantastic match. And I have done that for World Cups and stuff where if it starts at odd time, I wake up. Okay, I do not wake up at when this normal matches are there, normal series. But if it is a World Cup and stuff like that, I do wake up. So whatever time it starts, I'm going to wake up and
So
watch that particular test match because that's a
it's
huge
not gonna be the day and night match, right? It's a day game, right? Red ball.
it's a day game in England. Yeah, so it is going
It'll
to be
be
day.
always a day game.
It's going to start evening here, right? Because they are
Hopefully, yeah.
ahead by a few
Didn't
hours.
mention here.
Yeah, it'll be kind of like possibly like they're about for us they're 8 hours ahead.
Yeah, so I think it will start around 4 or 5 p.m.
Okay, well that's good. That's good because to me that test match
Yeah, it's a
final
day match.
is something bigger than an
5
actual
p.m.
the World Cup final also or a World Cup match.
Yeah, it's close to
Your
World Cup
test match
final. Yeah,
final. Absolutely.
And I'm just imagining after IPL how would be the like. Will they be more tired or
that's what
what?
I'm afraid of. That's what
You know
I'm
what?
So
afraid
it
of.
is
But
just after
It's
the
not the IPL. It's not the World Cup. There is a World Cup coming at the last quarter, October, November, December. We also
yeah
have the World
T20
Cup in
World Cup,
India,
T20 World
right?
Cup.
So these players are going to be like they have been going to be playing between IPL, then go to play T20 Asia Cup if it happens. Then they're going to play a Test match. Then they're going to kind of have a little bit of rest in between, and then they're going to be playing the World Cup T20. There's going to be like these players are going to be like totally exhausted. I hope these guys don't tire themselves out. India also follows their rotation policy pretty strictly so that
Yeah.
these players are fresh for every game that they show up.
Yeah, I would have preferred the World Cup, not the World Cup match, the World Cup test match coming right after the IPL. I would have preferred a bit more gap or something because IPL takes away a lot of
I think there is a gap because IPL will be over in last week of May or something. So there's almost a month
okay.
before the final starts.
Yeah. Because I think the next 50 over World Cup is in 2024, if I am not mistaken, right?
23, I think.
23, okay. And the way we lost in the
I guess I'm not
semi-final, if
able to
India wins
hear
this test
Mr.
match,
Bhaskar.
sorry.
Is it a problem with my end?
Yeah, I can hear Bhaskar.
Okay, so I rejoin. I guess I couldn't hear Mr. Bhaskar.
Okay.
I think
So
we got a T20 World Cup next year again in Australia, and I think we have the ODI World Cup back in. I think it's again in India in 2023.
Is it? Okay.
I
well,
think
the
we got
thing
two
is,
world.
what I was saying is that India lost to New Zealand in that semi-final, which we have not forgotten the Javed Mianda six in Sharjah, so we are not going to forget this also. But if India is able to defeat New Zealand in this World Test match, at least there is some amount of solace, and it's a huge thing. Winning a World Cup Test match and becoming a champion in Test cricket, that's a huge thing actually.
And if you look at the New Zealand team, then it's like not an easy to defeat team, right? They are in their prime, like not top-notch performance with the Kane Williamson leading them. Hopefully, they win the finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no, I mean, you never know with particularly with Indian bowling, the Indian batting, the collapses, the top level, top half not performing match after match is definitely a spot of bother there. But it's going to be an interesting match, and we'll all shout and yell and make them win.
So with New Zealand with us in the test final, it's not going to be spicy like Australians, right?
That's true.
Yeah,
No, they are not
it'll
much.
be
They
less
are
vocal.
not into
They
It'll be
sledging.
less vocal. They would be not swearing as much. It's going
exactly.
to be it'll be a more civilized English format of cricket match that we're going
Yeah,
to be able to see
yeah,
when New Zealand plays.
yeah.
It's it's funny when we talk about Dale Steyn and PSL. Once that news came out, the PSL got postponed. So
That's quite unfortunate that they
Yeah,
had a COVID outbreak.
they had that huge issue with
But
COVID-19. I think a couple of
it's
players got COVID-19 and they just put a full stop to it for now and they are going to come back. And I think the timeline they are thinking is when IPL will be going on. So again, I mean, yeah, local people might go and watch it, but the TV viewership that will be hampered. So
yeah,
But again,
absolutely.
it's very interesting to know that if they're in a bio bubble, how can that be breached? So that was, I was reading an article that it's really strange for a bio bubble to be breached like that because I think they're taking care of everything that they can. So uh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very tricky situation to be in because if you say that you're in a bio bubble and then if people get the virus, then that means someone has been somewhere. There's been a breach
There,
in the bubble, and
there has been a bridge. Yeah.
yeah,
Even Moeen Ali had a COVID when he reached Sri Lanka. England players were in a bio bubble. They went from South Africa to Sri Lanka via London, and then kind of like Moeen Ali landed with COVID positive. He had to be isolated till 14 days, till a couple of tests, and then he was brought back into the squad. So there, it.
And
Having said
interestingly,
that, COVID can happen anywhere, right?
Interestingly, Chris Wokes was traveling with him and he didn't positive COVID. But he
Correct.
said while he was in the flight, he was alone. At that time, he, like, in the flight, during flight, he must have got COVID from someone.
Right, right. Yeah.
It's very unfortunate, like when they have taken so much of precaution out there and so much is at stake, and suddenly an event like this get kind of could spoil the entire kind of like all their preparations. It puts everything at risk. Even the
Yeah.
players suddenly start kind of like worrying about their own personal safety, and
True.
Yeah.
when that worry sets in, then it's hard. Like how Suresh Raina walked back from IPL. He said it doesn't matter, money doesn't care, I
It
don't care
doesn't
about the
matter.
money. I can't take this, so I want to get back,
Suresh
and he
Raina
just
also had a mishappening in his family. Like he had,
Right.
so that
That
was
was
another
after he
reason.
came back. That was after he came back. It was not before he went for the game. After he came back from the
No, that
IPL.
news got leaked after he came back, but I think that incident happened while he was there.
Okay.
I have my doubts on that because I thought he came back. He had already reached, and that's when the news happened out there.
And
Possibly they
similarly,
must have timed it.
Harbhajan Singh's with the same reason.
Yeah.
That rather
Yeah.
than going for money, he stayed with the family.
Yeah.
Talking about Harbhajan Singh, how many of you have you seen the trailer of his new Tamil movie?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen.
Go Google it up in YouTube and you'll find it. He's
It's
actually
okay.
he's
It's
man,
okay. You
everyone were
introduce
pulling
and
his
I.
leg. Like you, Raj, and everyone on Twitter were just pulling his leg.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
actually acted in a Tamil movie, making a debut.
Well, guys, one thing, I mean, the morning yesterday and the morning today of this test match, there is so much difference, so much contrast. And I'm just wondering how much it is to do with I mean, the bowlers are the same. The batsmen are, towards the lower end of the batting lineup. But how much is it in the mind where in the yesterday morning, like the English players thought they could do something, and once India started taking the lead, it is, back of the mind, they have kind of given up. I mean, because they know once, whenever India goes out, gets out, and we are looking at already 150 runs of lead, and they know who are the bowlers, who are going to come, and who are going to do what, and the skill level. By now, I'm convinced that against quality spin, the skill level is not there in the current English batting side. So I
Bhaskar,
mean,
as I said
so I think it will
yesterday,
make a difference.
it was all about the intent. Intent was missing in first two sessions. At least someone had to be aggressive, and I was hoping Rohit Sharma, because it's his natural game. He was playing against his natural game for good like 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I think that was the only thing. It's the mindset, it's the intent with which the Indians started yesterday. I think we can see it even in last session yesterday and today. Runs are flowing pretty quick. We are scoring at almost 4 runs and over today. So
That's
Okay.
true. That's true. It is the positive. Like as long as the player plays to his natural strength as opposed to kind of being too defensive or too offensive if he's not in that strength, then they kind of like slow down the pace of the game. All right. And so, yeah, Rohit Sharma did play a little slow. I think in the back of my mind, it was he was that they had lost three quick wickets. So he just wanted to stay there as long as possible, see off the new ball and see as much, take off the shine as much as possible, find a player on the opposite side who can hold the other side till he found Pant. And so that's why he kind of like it was unlikely, he was very unlucky to kind of be one shot of his 50. And hopefully next innings, if he gets to bat, he gets to score at least his 50 if he doesn't
Yeah.
have to score too
It's
long.
a
I don't
big
There
think
hit
was
India
a
is
there
better.
was a
after
I,
sneak.
back-to-back
I
There
overs.
was a sneak.
I
There
don't
was a nick
think so.
which was
India is.
missed, basically. Yeah. There was a nick, genuine nick, which was missed just now. I think yesterday India's strategy was they needed to. They were thinking that we need to beat bat 2 full days and we are done. Basically, we would be safe. So they tried to build in a typical Test match fashion, and today with the lead and everything, I think they're playing more open. So
I think Bhaskar on this kind of tracks, there will be one ball which will take a nick. So
Yeah.
the good mindset is to just be aggressive and be fearless, I guess. And I think that's how Rishabh Pant and Washington Sundar are playing at the moment.
yeah, yeah,
He's
Yeah,
in.
that's true. That's true. Like, it's just one good ball to get you that wicket and it could turn things around.
yeah,
It's just one ball. Like, it could come from a bowler who's kind of like one of the weakest bowler in the squad, or kind of like a part-time bowler, like Joe Root. He's a part-time bowler, but he got 5 wickets last innings.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Who would have expected Joe Root to get like he came back with the best figure, 5 for 6 or 6 for 5, whatever the score is.
Yeah,
And
5 for 8 basically. Yeah,
5 for 8, right? So it's
So
yeah,
if
just
you
like,
guys have watched the speeds at which Ben Stokes bowls, the speed is getting slower like
yeah.
considerably
Yeah.
in this
Yeah,
session.
he's
So
getting tired. He's
Yeah.
getting.
He.
yeah,
Yeah.
players are
Yeah.
getting tired. That's what we want.
And the
I do.
English
yeah,
players, they're not used to playing 40 degrees centigrade, right? So that's another thing, and that we discussed yesterday in our WhatsApp also. One good partnership that will basically put pressure on the bowlers, and the heat will do the rest. And exactly
Right?
what that's
Yep.
what happened. It happened a bit late, but it happened. And today, I think whatever energy they had in the morning, once they couldn't get the wicket, and these two guys are playing pretty, pretty confidently now. I think, and with the lead and everything going on and on. Uh, I think, I mean, they're professionals. The English players are professionals. They'll continue playing, but at the back of the mind, I think they know it's a lost cause now. So.
Yeah, and like keeping them in field for 112 overs and counting. And yeah, like those legs are tired. I doubt even if we have to play second on this track.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
No, the chances of India
they'll
winning
come
ten
back with a
innings.
good fight. They're definitely going to come
Sorry.
back with a good fight, because if it is going to be their last game for the season, they're going to be putting their best. They may possibly come back offensive
I
and
have my doubts.
as aggressive as
I
possible.
would love
That
to
just
see them come aggressive because they'll lose their wickets much more faster.
that's what I said in my
Whichever way they
commentary
come,
this
they're gonna
morning.
go.
That's what I said in my comment this morning, saying that if India could play for another two sessions out here and say they score about like 200, they already scored the 150, so the first psychological mark is crossed. If they can score more than 200 runs, the England are going to be coming back with a deficit of 200 plus. Then they have to score another two. That means that they have to score a minimum of 400 runs to make India back. And hopefully they have 5 sessions. So that means they would have only 3 sessions for themselves to play, and in which they're going to score 400 plus. Then that's going to be like a challenge for England if they want to genuinely try to win this game for
Yeah,
that, right? So it is going to be like so India, every over, every state that India is playing out here right now is taking away an over from English innings for
yeah.
them to be able to put a respectable score for India to chase in the second innings at this
And
point.
yeah, and what we have seen in the last few matches, and I don't think with the way India has batted this match, that it has been more about the English batting survival. And with the deficit of like 150, and I think it will go up to around 200 and maybe more. I think the English batting will be under tremendous pressure, and first thing they'll be thinking about is survival. And India is going to open with the spinners, and I don't see much hope for English batting in the second innings.
Yeah.
But I hope they kind of put a good fight, because now they can't complain saying that the pitch was acting up. So
I,
they
I
hope.
think this whole pitch controversy, like I think how subcontinent teams are now perform. Like I feel when a overseas team comes to a subcontinent to play a match, we try to put up a pitch which is more seaming and a more seam friendly pitch until now. Like even if we see matches like India has played before, they've not been very spin friendly. So I was surprised by the fact that when so much controversy happened, that was, I think, the whole idea was that even subcontinent teams were trying to prepare pitches that were seam friendly, and they were trying to prove themselves even in the subcontinent conditions. But now when they actually got a spin friendly track, then the whole issue started happening that, oh, it's spinning so much. But that's how it's supposed to be in India, or even for that matter in Sri Lanka or any other. So I think it's that whole importance that we were giving to the overseas conditions, that subcontinent teams need to prove ourselves in overseas conditions, that we were preparing those kind of tracks even in subcontinent. But now that we've seen the other way around, I think that's how it should be. Like,
Yeah, and even it was in, I don't remember if it was in South Africa or New Zealand, where I couldn't differentiate where the pitch was and where the ground is. So at
yeah,
that time, no one complained, because okay, it's a seaming pitch, you're going outside. That's the mindset we get. So why
yeah,
not have mindset in the touring teams that when you go to India, get better prepared, get better skill to play spin. That's
Yeah,
the nature of wicket that's gonna get you in India or
yeah,
in
yeah,
any subcontinent pitches. So it's all about a fuss. So it's just that they don't have skill to bat
true,
spin, I think, and that's why they are saying, okay, the pitch is bad. Um, in this match, they can't complain because we scored
yes,
400 almost runs. So I think that conversation is stopped. I hope.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, to add to add this
how many
there,
of you saw that Sunil Gavaskar comment of Chalfoot? I don't
Yeah, I saw
think
that.
it
I
was
love Sunil Gavaskar. I
I
love
love
him.
him
Yeah.
too. I love him too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
even
gives it back. He gives it
Dominic
back.
Best Dominic
It
Best just did a fantastic save at the boundary,
I saw that,
denying
yeah.
Washington Sundar by a single run.
He has to
So
cover up his leaked run, so that's good for
yeah,
him.
yeah. And Sundar is now playing strong at 94. Eh,
94. Who wants to
Did,
him
did
to
you
hit
guys
a
hear
six?
that comment from Gavaskar yesterday, where I think Lawrence or someone came and he said, yeah, he didn't do much in last game, just took his guard and went away. It was like a funny,
No,
funny take that he
it
Yeah,
made.
was
yeah, yeah.
for Bairstow.
It
It
was
was
funny.
for
I was like,
Bairstow.
he's on the nail.
Harsha
Yeah,
Bhogle
yeah.
said that he got two ducks in consecutive innings, so he didn't really have much to do. And then he was correct. No,
Yeah,
Yeah, he took
he
his
came
card,
and took cut.
exactly.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Yeah,
yeah,
Sundar is playing the right game. It's not going for the singles, punching it and getting those singles there. So 95. So he's almost there.
yeah.
yeah. Not
Will he
everyone
go
has
for a
the
six?
courage. That's
Uh,
what I was saying. Not every.
He's not that
I
kind of
don't think.
batsman.
I don't think he's not in the Pant caliber. He's kind of like he's got a
Is
mind of his
the
own.
is spinner going to bowl or it's a faster bowler coming in?
Hmm.
It's
I think they're
they're
going to rotate.
changing over.
Joe
I think
Root.
it'll be Root or something. If it's Root, I think he'll try to
He'll
look for a
try.
boundary.
I think
He'll
he'll
look
try.
for
If
a
it's route,
boundary.
he'll try.
If not a six, but I think he'll definitely look for a boundary.
Let's see.
Yeah.
When I was reading about Sehwag, he's like, if there is 6 runs for 100, there are and if there is six
Yeah.
runs you have to do. There are so many risks. If there is one ball I can hit for a six, so there is no more risk. So that's why I hit six. I was like, that's the mindset. I can't even imagine that. And you have to respect that mindset in this modern cricket.
No, even
But
yesterday's inning in the match, India Legend match. Oh my God, like it was fearless.
this was brutal. 30 ball
Yeah,
80. Like I was like enjoying it to the fullest. I was like, man, old
yeah,
days are back.
yeah.
Like Shewak, even to this date, I think if he comes back to play for India, I'm sure he'll play the same way.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
Absolutely,
have seen
because
this
And
when
he didn't look out of touch. It felt like he
yeah,
just started like he stopped playing yesterday and he just
yes,
continued today.
yeah. Even Irfan Pathan is playing so good. I was like, man,
The
like these
ball
guys are
was
playing.
swinging like crazy, like
Yeah,
when he was bowling. So someone asked him to. I think after the match, someone asked him that even after you've stopped playing after for so long, your ball
yeah.
is still swinging. He's like, the swing is not in the ball, it's not in the edge, it's in my wrist. So
It's in my
as
wrist.
long as
Yeah. I
as
think
long
his
as my
action is perfect for that
yeah
swing bowling he has.
yeah yeah.
Privileged to have shared nets with him. once, long time
Oh,
ago.
Cool, cool. Yeah.
Sundar has been tempted with some full toss by Roots, but he was smart enough to just push it along.
I think my stream is late than what you guys are seeing for some reason.
Okay. Well, it is 113.2 overs. Akshar Patel on 42. So Akshar Patel is approaching his first international 50 and Sundar is approaching his first international 100. So, and there is at least another half an hour to go for lunch. So we should see both of them achieving that milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And India is
They're
not there. I think
achieving
if they
milestones.
bat the entire day, India will happily bat the entire day. And
Oh
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Absolutely.
Given that both these players have been kind of, they can play in the top two, so they can definitely play a long innings if they don't kind of like what do you call lose their wickets. By the
I
way,
think
this
the
is by the way, they
yeah.
just put the board saying that this is after 18 or 19 years, last in 2002 when Agarkar scored 109 in the test match coming down at 8 down or 7 down. That if Washington Sundar gets it today, if for
Oh,
in
Okay.
wow.
India,
I guess he scored 100 at Lords, I guess.
Lords
Yeah,
2002.
yeah,
Yeah.
2002. Yeah,
2002 Agarkar scored 109. That's what they were just showing them.
yeah.
Right.
So that's
Where did Dave
basically.
go? He
Devesh,
distant.
he's in the. I mean, might have gone for his dinner or something.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so yeah, he should be back
Oh,
soon.
is there a run out or something?
Oh,
Mm,
Don't tell me Akshar Patel just gave up his wicket. Like he looks like he's done. The damage is done.
Hey, Devesh, welcome back. If you want to join, or I don't know, I saw you. I added. I mean, back to stream. Uh, you are in demand, people. Fellow
oh,
panel
he's gone. He's gone.
about you. So,
who's
Oh, he's
out?
gone.
Who's out?
Akshay Patel.
oh, that is out. That is
No. Oh,
absolutely wrong.
bad.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
my bad.
that's a
That's unfortunate.
hard
That
one.
wasn't required. Yes, Akshar
So
Patel
Jinx.
is out.
he was sent back, I think, by Sundar.
But there was no
That
run.
is,
There was no run. Akshar Patel batted good for his 43.
Now the
The match
pressure
got
will be
7
on
runs,
Sundar.
so yeah, quite unfortunate now.
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
now
if
he'll
the
look
situation
somewhere.
does not
But
demand
that's he didn't hit
getting
it with the
run out
ball.
in
He
a
hit it
test
with his
match is
hand.
very unfortunate because usually 9 out of 10 times it is not needed. So.
Would have been
Uh,
great to get a 50 on his home ground, but quite
you know,
unfortunate that he didn't.
I think this could be a little tricky one. Okay, he's given it out because the
No,
guy
as
actually hit it.
Out. He's clearly out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he didn't hit it with the ball. He had the ball in his hand and he picked it up. So that's
that's
why.
that's fine. You don't
43.
really have. Yeah.
Yeah,
But he
that's
still deserves
out.
a
Yeah,
standing
but he did
ovation.
play a good
Yeah.
innings.
Yeah.
They put
Absolutely.
India in a strong position. Now Ishant
True.
Sharma is there.
Next is Ishant.
Do you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah, I
will
think they'll
will
send.
will survive till lunch or they'll come to bed before that?
No, I think they will continue. I think Washington Sundar will be on one side. He'll kind of try to keep the test strike as much as possible.
But
I
I
What do
think
you
think
think
now
will
we
be a
are
good
going to
lead?
see the end of the Indian innings. The Indian lower half is again doing great things, but with Siraj and Ishant Sharma, I don't know.
Yeah,
So, what do you think is going to be a good lead?
this
I
is good
think we
enough.
have
Like
this
one.
is more than enough.
200 would have been great. 200 would have been great. I think it will be somewhere around 180, but we can have 200. I mean,
200 looks a little far fetched at this point, doesn't it?
that's a good point.
With
Yeah.
Akshar gone,
But then
yeah,
it also depends upon who is bowling, which team is bowling. Once India comes with a new ball and Akshar Patel starts, with his balls which don't turn, they go straight and they play for the spin.
And
So
and when you
but
ask
there
for
is
how much,
bounce. There is bounce in the pitch. If you remember, Anil Kumble was never a big. Sorry, but Anil Kumble was never a big spinner of the ball. He used to generate that bounce even on a dead pitch. And same with Chandrasekhar also. So this pitch has bounce. So there is something for the spinner, and it has some turn also. So
I guess Mr. Dev asked the wrong question. How much is the good lead? Mr. Bhaskar would always ask for more, right? If we would have at 200, he would ask for 250. If we would have
yeah,
at 250, he
sure.
would
Yeah, dil mange more. Absolutely, yeah, dil mange
exactly.
more.
प्रिंस एक बात बोलूं यार, ये मिस्टर मिस्टर मत बोलो यार। मजा नहीं आ रहा गेम देखने में।
Okay, okay. ठीक है जी.
To coming back with the lead, actually, you know what? Anything above 150 is going to be psychologically adding pressure on England because
Yeah.
they need to first cover up the lead and then they kind of score whatever they have. And as I said, they have about 4 or 5 sessions in which they need to score. So they're going to break it down to say that we only have so many sessions in order to extract the results from this game. They need to give India at least 4 sessions if they want to get a result. So that means they have to bat till lunch or at least till tea tomorrow and say that okay, we're going to bat till tea tomorrow and make India bat from tea after tea and the following day to see if they can go for a victory, outright victory, and or we can try to get them all out. So that's
Guys,
how the
I
England
always have a lot of respect for opponents, but with all respect to this English team, in this match, there is only going to be one outcome, and that is India is going to win. So now,
Man, I am afraid for century for Sundar.
I am too now. If Ishant got out,
Oh
I
my
think
god, yeah, he's like
Ishant
iron
is
fed
out.
up. Yeah,
He
that's
just
what I was
walked away.
thinking about him.
LBW.
He's
Yeah,
plump. He's plumb in front. He's gone.
Don't tell me now Washington Sundar is still waiting for his 4 runs.
4 runs. Yeah.
Exactly. And now the Stokes is bowling to Siraj. I doubt he
and
gonna
Oh
and
man,
there are five more
survive it.
deliveries. There are five more deliveries in this over. This is plumb, absolutely plumb. I don't. One thing I don't understand.
I
Tail
think
ender, they
I
just
trust.
come in like
I,
Sharma, and he played across the line. Play straight, man. Why are you playing across the line?
Man,
He
that's
just
why
played
he's number
across the
10.
line and missed it. He is plumb. Play
That's why
straight.
he's number 10.
Defend the next five balls. So he played across. First ball he faced from Ben Stokes. He's playing across on a
I
ball
think
which
I
is
trust.
from middle stump. I don't
I
get it.
trust Siraj more in this situation because the way he
Situation.
played with Ashwin in that match, I think he played responsibly. Like he feels that like
true,
uh,
true.
thing
Yeah,
It
he
was
towards.
the
said
same kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Even
true.
Ashwin was on
Exactly.
90s
He
when he
Yeah,
exactly he
played.
was in
yeah,
90s and now at
And who's on strike right now? Is it Siraj?
Siraj.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Siraj
Siraj.
is going to be, yeah. Unfortunately, the run out happened on the last ball of the previous game, the previous over.
oh,
Just,
okay.
just
I mean,
imagine,
so they
like
should
Sundar
just
is possibly he's got us like he's kind of like saying, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Like I'm sitting here on 96. Like
I
I
think he
hope
should
Siraj
just hit a boundary now.
just
He should just
blocks the
hit a
five
boundary,
balls,
get a century. Yeah.
just
Well, if
block the five
Siraj
balls.
plays with a straight bat, he will survive. If he doesn't try anything fancy, just the pitch is not doing much for the seamers. He just has to connect. I mean, just keep the ball out of danger. That's it.
Is that a
So,
replay? No.
He's stepping back for a shot. He's trying to kind of go through the
Man, it's
covers.
funny when number 10 tries to flick.
Well, he just needs to change strike
It's
now.
just
Yeah.
funny.
But
All he needs
Siraj
to do is change strike.
yeah, Siraj likes to get those hits first. He wants to score a boundary or a six on the first couple of balls. Then he kind
Well,
of
this is
settles
not
down.
the time. This is not the time. He should let what's his name Sundar gets his century.
yeah.
Thanks.
Let's see.
Thanks.
Let's see. He's just one boundary away from century. So let's
So
hope for the best. Fingers crossed.
yeah, he beautifully batted with Ashwin though.
Oh, what's happening?
No, leg stump.
This is an interesting. This is going to be an interesting over.
He just bowled. He went around. Was this out? I was thinking this is going down leg.
No,
No,
it
Oh,
was
it's
straight in
just
plumb.
plug.
missing, just in plung.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
was
he should
as
have just
plumb.
kind of.
And the ball did not bounce. Also, it was not going over the wicket. It was just in the middle. So
Yeah, he could have just played it out. He couldn't. He didn't have to go for
he
a
just
cross.
had to just play straight. He tried to flick a Yorker. I mean, it was not
Oh
exactly a
my
Yorker, but almost
God.
a Yorker, and he went right across it.
So
Done.
Sundar
So
does not get his 90. He does not get his 100. And I then I was the only one who was like saying no. Sorry
So
guys, I
oh
didn't want to
man,
jinx it.
you
oh
jinxed
boy,
it.
both of
Sorry
them.
oh
guys.
my God! You know what? I'd already
Akshay
created a
didn't get
banner
50.
congratulating him
But
for
he
his
played a
century.
fantastic inning. He played a good inning, and he should be proud. Like last time also
Well,
in
let's
England, last time he was like 90 when in England when he got out. He was like 97 or 98 in England. Sorry, in Australia when he got out. His first test match.
let's give him a big round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now,
So, so
so
one
Devesh,
question, yeah,
so
how
it
many
answered two
people think
questions.
that the match is going to get over today?
Well, it's a good thing, no?
No,
I think they were
no.
just dragging now.
So Devesh, that answered your question. How much is going to be the lead? I said 150, 160, and so it kind of has 160.
Still 160. It's static on 160 for the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, the last three wickets fell on the same innings. He could
Yeah.
again.
Same.
So
Yeah.
Ishant went across, and Siraj was playing back. He was playing on his back foot. He went all the way back, playing from
Yeah,
his, away
you
from his
can't,
body.
you guys can't blame them, right? They are number
Yeah,
10 and
exactly.
11, so
Oh, yes, absolutely. You know, in Ishan Sharma's defense, well, what did Virat Kohli do then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sundar would have been disappointed, but you know what? He played a 10 of innings.
Yeah.
That's something which he could be
Yeah.
proud for
I think,
himself. He
And I'm sure Washington Sundar is going to get many more opportunities. I mean,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, and he would
No,
not be that
he will.
disappointed.
Obviously, he will. Yeah.
Yeah, he has made India kind of like they put it together. They made it strong innings, so they're definitely going to get there.
Yeah.
I don't think too many people were expecting this score from him. Like, you know, the best we were expecting was like 50 or 60 odd runs, and that's it. But,
Yeah. And
you
I
know,
think
he's
he got
surpassed
duck in
everyone's
the
expectations, and that I think that's good enough. And he's given a
yeah, I
solid
think he
platform
got
for the
ducks
team
in
to
the last couple of matches. So
Hmm. So,
so
it
yeah,
is
so
what it
how many
is.
people think when you wake up in the morning you see the match is over? How many people think that?
Uh,
I think so.
Yeah, I think so
think
too.
so.
I just want to ask: is
So
Washington Sunder's
that
dad is in the stadium?
He'll come. He'll come out. He'll come running on the pitch right now to hit Ishant and Siraj.
I think he's just a better version of Yuvraj Singh's dad.
Yeah.
But s really, really unfortunate that Sundar didn't get a century today.
Yeah.
You know, I'd already created a banner congratulating him for his century. Unfortunately, I won't use that. You know, yeah. See,
Yeah, you
this
could
is.
just say make it as well played, guys.
Look at the screen for us 1 second because I'm not going to be displaying it for too long. See, this is the one.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. That's very
Yeah.
sweet.
You can just
Okay.
change 100 to 96 though,
Yeah,
although he played beautifully.
that's a good way of respecting
Yeah,
his.
yes, exactly. It's hard work. So another
Yes.
coincidence, possibly not a very good thing to coincide with, like first innings of third test match, India scored 145, and there were four players who didn't kind of cross even to you didn't cross the starting mark. And again in this game we had 365, and we have four players who didn't cross the starting mark.
Yeah.
So it just seems to be like some sort of
No, I mean this innings of India basically two good partnerships. One is between Washington Sundar and Rishabh Pant, and to certain extent Rishabh Pant and Rohit Sharma also. And the second one between Washi and who was the guy?
Aksar
Sorry,
Patel. Aksar.
and Akshar Patel. Absolutely. Basically, the whole Indian innings is built in the on these two partnerships, and so lot of things to think about in the though India will win and everything, but lot of things to think about in the Indian batting with the collapses we have seen, and time and again the second half of the batting has to come and basically rescue the team. I think India needs to think about the batting, particularly with the top order where the batsmen who are supposed to shoulder the responsibility, they are not shouldering. They're not doing their job. Time and
I
again.
I think Ajinkya Rahane would be the most disappointed person because he got the start. He was looking good. Just
Yeah.
before lunch, he was just chasing ball and stuff. So I think he'll be
And
disappointed with that shot.
Yeah.
I guess
He just went.
you
Yeah.
commented in the group, right, Neil,
Yeah,
that he's playing beautifully, right?
yeah.
Like,
No,
yeah,
like
when he
his shots were
plays,
pretty good. He was confident. He was
exactly, when
driving.
he
He
plays very
just chased the
beautifully.
wrong ball just
It
before
was the
lunch.
same mindset, the same mindset in which he scored the century in Australia. It was the same
Yeah,
kind of an innings that he started with. So
Yeah.
sorry guys, I just need to correct myself. It's actually the last three innings against in this current series that we have four players who didn't cross the starting mark in the first innings.
interesting.
And so so it seems to be a good trend. Seems to be a good trend because the first both the second two matches we won. So this looks also India is in a pretty strong position. So it's a positive sign actually.
No, I mean any other circumstances against any other team. I mean English player, I mean, this team, they're batting and they were not really they don't have the technique, or they didn't apply themselves in the pitches. And we have always seen overseas team, those who have been playing right from the childhood. You are playing in seaming conditions. You come to the subcontinent and in genuine spin track, a track which is giving assistance, and you have really good bowlers bowling at you. They have found it to be difficult. Otherwise, the Indian top order, I think, India would have been under more pressure if the way the Indian top order has batted. So
True, and I don't think from here India will lose. Like
yeah,
England has to play. Yeah, exactly.
India is not
England
going to.
has to play exceptionally well, and India has to bold out in the second innings.
This
So
point, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think England's going to come out as? What do you think England's strategy is going to be? Like, how long do you think they'll play? Even if they score like an excess, like, what do you think they will be setting up a target for India?
So this is my opinion. What England will start, they will start playing like a genuine Test cricket,
true.
where they will defend the good deliveries. They'll try to take advantage of the bad deliveries. But if they start losing wickets, I think they'll just try and hit out, because they don't have any option.
I don't
So
think they
if
would be
they
thinking
lose
of any
wickets,
target.
if they the first target would be to be with Indian score, and that
Exactly.
itself won't be easy. That itself
Okay,
won't be easy.
I'm
Once
saying England
England
all
gets
out at
cracked by the
155.
Indian bowling side, it won't be easy.
That's a huge statement
So,
to make, Neil.
I'm
That's a
saying
huge
yeah,
England
statement. I
England
say,
all
agree.
out at
I
155.
second Devesh on that. It's going to be like they would try to at least score 165. Even if it means 166, they're going to try to make that happen. But getting all out before 165 on this pitch, it looks like no.
I guess they will make 200 plus because I get around 250, so at least 100 leads, so then you can bet again.
I
The
don't
the
see India batting.
the pitch seems to be like it's good for batting now. So I think if England applies itself, they should be able to score. Um,
And then
I'm
now,
sure 250 also.
The
England
pitch
is
looks
batting, so the
good
pitch
because
will
of
be
the
bad.
English bowling also. Once the Indian comes to bowl, it might look entirely different pitch.
Exactly, that's my point. Like once England starts batting, it will feel like pitch is turning. So yeah,
true, true, true.
So, guys, excellent conversation. Unfortunately, I have to leave. So,
Oh
Me
yeah,
too, me
me too.
too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
leave
we
happy,
now.
can
Even I
happy
We
need
can
to
conversation.
leave.
thank you.
And
we
yeah,
Yeah,
can
thank
rest
you
for
very much,
tonight.
guys.
Yeah, watch
Yeah,
the
have a
All
match.
good,
right.
have a
All
good
the
weekend,
best,
guys.
boys.
If
Yeah.
there
yeah,
is a game tomorrow, we'll join up. Take care,
For
guys.
sure.
Good night.
absolutely.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
Thanks,
will
guys.
do, will do.
Bye.
Great.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
Thank.
night, everybody,
Yeah.
Good
and
night.
Good
thank you.
night,
Good
Thanks.
night.
guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Thanks
Thank
all.
you.
Bye.